Welcome everyone. Sen, Greg, Andrew, other Andrew, Ben, Devin, Charlie, Evan, John, Jake, and Mike. A couple things I wanted to cover. An overview of Dynasty, what it is, what it's like, how it's different than what you've done. We have a lot of new players. Welcome everyone. Sleeper, we're gonna go through the app of choice, some roster decisions that we made, buy-in structure, where the money goes, and how buy-ins will kind of continue as we go, as well as trading future firsts. We're going to talk playoffs and the 2.13 pick, and then lastly, a couple of supplemental notes. Hang on, I need some time. All right, so the Dynasty draft, it's not going to run like a redraft. So redraft 2-3 hours with your friends. This is going to run 8 hours per pick over multiple weeks. We're going to have like 30 rounds in this thing. So just keep in mind, you have 8 hours per pick. That means trade, talk, move and shake as you need. But this is going to be a long-term thing. We're starting the draft Friday, July 21st, if possible. That means all 12 of us need to have paid by then. If you haven't paid yet, check this link. We're going to draft one time. So one time, all the players are going to be taken, and then each subsequent draft is only going to be rookie drafts. You're going to have 4 picks in each of those drafts. And I think you'll be able to have at least 1 or 2 future draft seasons. You'll have at least 1 or 2 years of future picks to trade as assets today. Do your own research, but we are going to have Jake give you a few updates on Dynasty tips, tricks, strategy later on. All right, so I want to talk to you about Sleeper. It's going to have a ton of options on it. Roster, team, league, draft. Those are all important. The ones that I really want to talk to you about are the chat features. So the league chat, bottom of the screen, is going to bring up basically the group chat that is going to exist outside of Messenger. Feel free to use this chat. I don't get notifications on it, not now anyway. So I also have the Messenger created. But the other 2 really important things that I didn't realize right away are these. These are going to be your pinned messages. So this is going to be where the ultimate Dynasty rules go and are housed and can be seen by us. And then the direct messages. And that's going to be how your teammates or your other managers are going to, talk to you via trade, whatnot. Keep that in mind. Probably turn notifications on for Sleeper. Are you going to count me down? 2, 1. Quick overview of rosters. They're going to be a lot longer than you're used to. Check these out in the settings. One thing I wanted to cover, if you might not be used to from redraft, you're going to have IR spots. Those are going to be players that are out or injured indefinitely. And then you're going to have taxi spots. So the taxi spots are going to be for rookies only. They can be placed on the taxi as rookies. They can stay on there indefinitely. But once you take them off and add them to your active roster, add them to your bench, they can never go back on. So just keep that in mind.
Look at the camera.
All right, now buy-in and payout structure. Every single season, you're going to pay 1 season in advance. So now we're paying for 2023, 2024. Before the 2024 season, we're going to pay for 2025 and so on, okay? Anytime you trade a future rookie draft pick, this is going to be detailed in the supplemental notes. Anytime you trade one before that rookie draft, you're going to have to pay for that season. So essentially, trade a 2024 rookie draft pick in the startup, you're going to have to pay for your next league buy-in. I fucked that one up. I think I need to do it again. It's $50 per season, 2 seasons paid for up front. If you ever trade your future rookie draft picks prior to that season's rookie draft, another payment is required prior to completion of that trade. Everyone has already paid through 2023 and 2024. Hopefully, if you haven't, again, you need to do that before Friday. Each team is given 4 rookie draft selections for every subsequent season. Should you trade a 2024 first round pick prior to that season's rookie draft, payment for the 25 season will be made prior to that draft being completed. I can't stress that enough. That is important. That is going to happen in the startup draft. Should you then trade your 2025 pick as well? Well, now you're paying for the 2026 season. This is to protect managers getting rid of all their future assets, crushing their team, and then leaving the league entirely. This allows an orphan team to be assumed at the cost of the previous manager, should they do that, and not at the rest of the league's expense or the new manager's expense. For this reason, we'll always be prepaid at least one season. You'll pay for 2023 and 2024 now, and before the 2024 season, league dues will be due for 2025. Exiting the league at any time will forfeit all dues previously paid. If you can't transfer your team or sell your team to someone else, you forfeit it. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Okay.
Trading and rookie drafting are the primary ways to make changes to your team. It would be a detriment not to do these things. That said, you need to make sure that you're not getting crushed in trades, right? So I want to present you Keep Trade Cut, KTC. We have a little graphic here now. That essentially shows you what trades make sense and what trades don't, based on a crowdsourced pool of information. I want to give you a couple examples.
Look at the camera. Go.
Number one is this deal that actually did take place in a startup draft. This is not a super fair deal, but sometimes overpays do happen. If you want a guy that's in the top 12 picks of all of the players to have year over year over year, sometimes you have to overpay for them. I wouldn't make this deal or recommend you make it, but this is not a deal that would be considered bad for the league's integrity by the commissioner standards. In some cases, trades would be considered, and this is very rare, they would be considered detrimental to the league's integrity. This slide. This doesn't really make any sense. You're trading 3 young guys for 2 picks that are likely going to be late, even though they're first-round picks. The calculator hates it. It just doesn't make sense. Jake or myself would come in and ask both of the owners, how does this actually make sense? How does this not just hurt the rest of the league by allowing such a bad trade to happen? In rare circumstances, trades like this would be reviewed, but this is not the norm. Lastly, we have this deal. So the calculator is only as good as the inputs and outputs. If you have an 8-for-1 trade like the one they illustrated, it's not going to make sense even though it says it's fair. So use your best judgment, but make sure something makes intuitive sense as well. There's one more thing I want to say before the video ends. There is a special rule that we've added for non-playoff teams. 6 of the 12 teams make the playoffs every year. They compete for the championship. The other 6 teams still have something to compete for. We've added a 13th pick to the second round. So 12 picks in the first, 12 picks in the second. At the end of the second round, consolation bracket. The winner of the consolation bracket would then win the 2-13 of that next season. So at the end of this year, we're going to have a regular playoff, we'll have a non-playoff team playoff, and the winner of that non-playoff team playoff is going to get a bonus second-round pick after all the other second-round picks have taken place. I need to phrase this better. Once again, the supplemental notes will be pinned, as I told you about earlier, in Sleeper. So these things are all going to be subject to change. We're going to vote on changes year over year. If something gets proposed, we'll vote on it, majority rules. If it's something really crazy like adding a roster spot or adding a position or something like that, we're going to do like a super majority, like a 9-person vote to actually ratify something like that. Otherwise, good luck. Have a great season. Enjoy the draft. Pay me before Friday.
No, but I was going to.